Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are doing good. Welcome back to a new week in the life. Funny enough, not so funny actually. I actually recorded this video like 20 minutes ago, but it turned out like the voice, sorry, not the voice, the audio was completely messed up. So yeah, there goes 20 minutes of my life. But all right, guys, I hope you've done amazing this week. I hope everything has been well. For me, it's been good, very good. Alhamdulillah, we've signed on an extra client this week. So that's an extra 4 or 5 grand in total lifetime value. Obviously, stays on longer, hopefully, and he's probably going to do that based on the service delivery that we have, which is absolutely dialed in. Um, but yeah, it's been a good week overall. I've been consistent, which is obviously the number one most important win. Initially, it's actually good that that video got deleted. I believe I started yapping a lot there, and I went too off topic with a lot of stuff. But what I want to talk about today, guys, and what I want to talk about initially before we obviously switch the screen and go into some specific of the results, like cold calling, sales, whatever that may be, is initially a very important thing that I've kind of thought about the last few week, or actually just the last few days, and this current week that is that's just gone by now. As it's Sunday, the 16th of March today, is the fact that nothing is by luck. Everything is calculated, right? Um, Everything is calculated, nothing is by luck. That's actually my phone background as well. And what it initially means is that you have to remember that everything you do in life, everything you do to your journey to success in your business, whatever it is, everything from when you wake up to the way you initially carry yourself, how even the way you I wouldn't say the way you work out, but the way you, and if you go to the gym, you have these good habits, whatever it is, everything is calculated and initially racks up until you finally hit the jackpot, which is luck. Um, and luck is actually very true. It's very true if you stay consistent every single day. Like if you literally don't miss a day, you're never gonna miss a lucky day. That's what you have to remember. That's the type of mindset I want you guys to have. Because imagine this, and I've seen this in a smaller perspective actually this week. So I'll talk about my experience as well. And I want to put this into a larger perspective before bringing it into my own experience so that it actually makes sense. Imagine this: you're trying to start out your business, and you're spending every single day. You're working good. You're working hard, and you're working every single day, doing your best for 3 years in a row. That's 36 months. Do you think you would be successful? Yes or no? If you literally gave it your all, yes, you probably would. You would initially if you gave it your all. And what mean by your all is that literally every single waking hour that you have, obviously, aside from when you're going to the gym, aside from when you're eating, aside from when you have time allocated for spending with your family, every single hour you have available to actually do work. And when I'm talking actually do work, yes, if you have a 9 to 5, you probably can't work between 9 to 5, but you can work from 5 to 9. Yes, you can. Or you can work from 5 to 10 and then eat maybe at 10 or eat at 7 and take an hour break in between. Whatever it is, you know your life and your schedule a lot better than me. The thing is, put down, figure out when exactly you can work and don't miss those hours. Literally. And I can promise you, you will be successful by that. And why I can say that is because I've seen it in a smaller perspective. And typically in life, whatever works in a smaller perspective typically makes sense in a larger perspective as well. That's why, when they do these tests on, for example, rats or in the labs and they do these tests, they do it on smaller like amounts of people or whatever test there might be. It might do it on individual people, like 5 or 6 of them. And even when it comes to psychology, because I had psychology in high school, they initially, when they did tests, they did it in groups of maybe 10, 20, 30. There was a lot of tests done that way. Why they did that is because once something happens in a smaller, like initial volume of people or volume of initial tests, whatever it may be, it can replicate itself in a bigger perspective. So whatever happens in a small world type of thing, I don't really know how to articulate myself. I got to get better at that. But initially, whatever happens in a small perspective usually will happen the same in just a bigger perspective if there's more people, if there's more volume inside. What that means, in the same way, if your appointment booking rate is 5% and your calling, let's say your appointment booking rate is 10%, just for explanation's sake, if you're calling 100 people, you're going to book 10 appointments. If you're calling 1,000 people, you're going to book 100 appointments. You see what I mean there? Everything just kind of, it's the law of averages, basically. So law of numbers, it just adds up, it ranks up. And what I'm trying to get to here before I go off on a tangent is that I've seen luck. I've seen it face to face. And what I mean by that is that I literally this week I called this initial prospect, every single person I've cold called. Initially I've closed, right? Or not every single person I've cold called, but every single person I've closed has been from a cold call. And how cold calls work is that you call them one day, you book in a meeting the other day. So I called him on, I believe, Wednesday, booked him in on Thursday, talked to him on Friday, closed him in a span of a week. Where can you initially get those 3 days and then get 5 grand from someone in lifetime value just like that? Literally, you haven't heard of that before, type of thing, right? And the reason is because it's this luck thing. It's this thing where I can talk about it because initially, if something works like this, if it works in this perspective where I just kind of stayed consistent for 3 days, boom, got a call, booked in that call, because you initially never know who you're going to book in and who's actually going to close. So if you focus on that every single day, you just allocate those hours that you have available to do something, for example, cold calling, whatever it may be, and you focus on doing that, what's going to happen is you're going to turn those appointments into sales and those going to turn into closed deals and you're going to keep doing that. So if I just think to myself, what would happen if I stayed like that for a month, if I stayed like that for 3 months, if I stayed like that for 6 months? I would definitely be somewhere else than where I am today. That's why it's very important to just remember nothing is by luck, everything is calculated. So make sure it all just comes down to consistency. Even Cristiano Ronaldo, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there's this very, very famous interview that kind of went all over social media where initially people were like, one they asked him if he likes to go to the gym, and he was like, "Nothing like nobody likes to go to the gym. We're all human, right? We all have days where we don't feel like doing anything." And that's so crazy if you think about it. The guy's literally the most famous athlete in the world, the highest paid, I believe, as well. I don't know if Conor McGregor is pretty close to him last year or something. I don't know. Don't care either. But initially, he's very, very, very good, very, very highly paid, very, very highly paid, and he's just so famous. And he just says that same thing. Um, he's just a human like us. It's so crazy just to think about it. Like, put that in perspective. Like, he's no different. And that's the thing. So it really just comes down to consistency. And that's what he said as well. He's like, I could give people the exact trainings, I could give people the exact meals, I could give people exactly what you need to do, but you still won't achieve it. Why? Because you can't be consistent with it. You will give up. In the same way, there was this clip of Andrew Tate when he was like, I'll show you the map to success. I'll give you a Ferrari. I'll give you a Ferrari. You're going to sit in that Ferrari and you're going to drive. And you're going to drive and you're going to get to there. But most people won't. They will give up. Even though they know they're going to succeed, they know the way, they're in the Ferrari, they're still going to give up. That's why consistency is number one. Mm. It's number one. And that's one thing I want to leave you guys with here as well is that absolute golden nuggets. If you guys are going to write something down from this video, any video of mine, it's this. In your journey to success or in your journey to your dreams, whatever it may be, whatever you feel like fits best, you will face both oasis and desert. Whatever you do, don't stop. Whatever you face, don't stop. If you're facing oasis, don't stop. If you're facing desert, don't stop. Right? So in both cases, just make sure to don't stop. And it's so true. It's kind of what we talked about last week with these oscillatory cycles where you're having a good month and then you're having a bad month. Everybody knows this. Well, there's one month where you're searching up Ferraris, Lamborghinis, BMWs, AMGs. You're searching up properties in Dubai. You're searching up rent. You're trying to figure out how much it would cost you and how much it would cost you to rent a car and travel this and do that and have fun. And then maybe the day after or maybe a week after, you're like, oh, nobody talked to me. I just want to do nothing. I just want to lay in my bed all day and do absolutely nothing. And that's those oscillatory cycles, but that's why you're not going to have to stop. You don't want to go on internet and searching up these Lambos. You don't want to go and search up these Ferraris in the department because then you're at the high of the high, you're stop. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. So what I've learned now, and which is very important, and that's why I've stayed stagnant for like 5K a month in the last 4 months, which is it's okay. It's very bad in comparison to where I could be, right? And that's why that's why this channel exists in the first place, to be honest, realistic. But that's beside the point. What I'm trying to get to here is like you can't be too comfortable. You can't just stop. You got to go. Like even like just now, I'm so happy that I read this, and it's fine for me because I'm focusing on learning, right? Um, now I signed that client and I went back into outreach. I just have that process in place. And now I'm spending time since it's a weekend, it's Sunday, and nobody's going to pick up any calls here at 12 p.m. So I'm focusing on doing the onboarding, which is fine, which is exactly what you need to do. You need to do it when you can't do the most important thing in your business. And in a business, in an agency, whatever business you have, I can talk most of experience from an agency's perspective is obviously most of your time should go into sales. And if it's not sales, if you don't have enough sales calls in your calendar, it should go into booking those appointments, into getting sales. That is the most important thing of your business, hands absolutely down. Nothing else. Nothing. Service delivery, it can be outsourced. VAs onboarding, it can be outsourced. by the end of the day, at the end of the day. But sales, that's number one, and then you have cold funnel. So if you're not doing those two things, if you're not able to do those things, then you can move into something else, right? So what I want you to remember is that just don't stop. Like, remember that nothing is by luck. You just have to keep going every single day. Focus on winning hours. Focus on winning hours. Don't go too strict and focus on winning seconds and focus on winning minutes, because the second you start thinking about seconds, once you waste a second, you're going to waste multiple seconds. And the same with minutes. If you waste a minute, you're going to think about multiple minutes. But just focus and have this mindset that if you waste 21 minutes of an hour, win back those 39. Don't go 29 and 31, but go 21 and 39. So if you're wasting, because it's gonna be times, bro. It's gonna be times and instances where we just want to lay in bed and absolutely do nothing, just want to be lazy. But make sure that you don't waste the whole hour. If you want to be lazy for 15 minutes, be lazy for 20 minutes, be lazy for 21 tops. But then get your ass up, get back to work, win those 39 minutes, and keep doing that. Because if you initially focus on doing that and you instill that mindset in yourself, you're never going to waste another hour in your life. And if you don't waste an hour, you're not going to waste a day. If you don't waste a day, you're not going to waste a week. If you don't waste a week, you're not going to waste a month. And if you keep doing that, you're not going to waste a year. What's going to happen to you? Where are you going to be in a year if you didn't waste a whole year? Where are you going to be? Ask yourself. Look yourself in the mirror. Where am I going to be? Would you be where you're at right now? No, certainly not, because you are where you deserve to be, and you will be where you deserve to be. So if you become that person that is able to win every single day, win every single hour, because that's what it comes down to. So don't think this long term. Don't get scared of the thought. Don't get there, oh shit, I gotta do this every single day. I don't want to do that. No. Look at the time, look at the date, look at your watch. I don't have a watch on, but look at your watch, figure out what day is it, what hour is it. Let me win this hour. Let me win the next hour. That's why it's so important. And I've talked about this in every single video. Almost plan your day out, plan exactly what you're gonna do. Yes, 3, 4 hours, maybe go to the gym, spend time with your family, eat food. All right. The next 8 hours sleep. Other than that, if you have the whole day, if you're not working a 9 to 5, if you're not working a job, which is completely fine as well, but if you're not doing that, you have all the rest of the hours just to focus on work. Do that. Allocate the time, focus on work. Win the hours. If you can look at yourself in the mirror every single night and think that to yourself and know that you didn't waste a single hour, you're going to be so proud. And no matter proud, you're going to see the success come a lot faster. God only rewards those ones who actually deserve it. And God sees what you're putting in. So make sure that you're putting in effort and make sure that you're doing your best. With that said, I don't have a lot more to talk about in terms of that. I want you guys to remember that. So please, if you guys have the time, go back in the video, watch it again, take some notes. It's essentially, sorry, just implementing those things, literally going to make a huge difference. But let me pop on Loom here, and I'm going to show you guys exactly some of the outreach I did today, some of the initial, what was it called? Outreach, sales calls, and kind of how everything went. And now we'll wrap up this video and then we'll go ahead and catch up again next week. But yeah, guys, I'll go ahead and see you on the next slide. Alrighty, guys, welcome back to this side of the video. Now, what we're going to go through is this initial week's outreach and this initial week's work, sorry. So yeah, this was last week where I initially did 5 days of cold calling: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and also Saturday. Did you do 2,500 total? This week I only did 2,000, but I still booked the same amount of calls. And then I'll talk about why I didn't do it on Tuesday and on Saturday as well. But initially for these, and that's the thing I want to obviously also talk about, which is very important, is skill. Like you can see here, total ABR went from 6% to 8% in just a week, and that is because of skill. Once you start doing something, you're going to get better at it. So you don't have to do the same amount every single week or every single day to be able to achieve the same results. Now, back to why I initially didn't do a lot of work. Now, Wednesday, I had a lot of calls lined up, but I still was able to do an hour maybe of calling. Reason is because I initially, a lot of calls showed up. I actually had like an 80%, 70% show up rate this week. Also, Tuesday, full with calls. That's initially why I was able to close someone and also have a lot of calls coming in. But other than that, Monday, Thursday, and Friday, initially, I was able to do the amount of hours that we're looking to do initially, almost 500 a day, almost. But I'm still very happy because I initially got the same amount of appointments booked with less people to talk with. So just consider if I had more time on Wednesday and if I had more time on Tuesday, I could definitely book 5 on Tuesday and I could definitely book 3 more on Wednesday. So that's an extra 8. So that would just be 25 this week. And then I could probably do a few, like 1 or 2 on Saturday. And Saturday was the same thing. I had a few calls booked down, onboarding and all that kind of stuff. So I wasn't able to do exactly what I wanted to do initially that week. But other than that, it's been absolutely amazing. Even the charge rate increased, calls off rate increased, offer to booking rate went a little bit lower because I'm testing a new script which is working absolutely insane. Sorry, guys, my back is absolutely killing me. Oh, but other than that, we also had the sales performance tracker, which I'm going to show you. I've obviously blocked out the names because I don't want to share any sensitive information about that. But Obviously, notes, all that stuff is here. Won this one. We add a 11% closing rate this month. I'll also show you guys the rest, but initially I'm not able to because I haven't blocked out those names, so I will do that another time. But 11% up till now, I definitely do believe that we're going to close another client within this month, within March. So we're going to be at least maybe 15%. And I'm looking to develop a completely new sales script. I'm going on a two call close instead of a one call close. I'll talk more about that in the next video, or else this video is going to be too long. But I'll talk more about that in the next video. Actually, why I'm going from one call close to a two call close, and maybe a little bit more about sales as well. Other than that, what I've done this week is also built out a full set of resource centers. This is basically just an HQ of the business. Literally in here, they come in, welcome, what do we offer realtor, their roles and responsibilities, scripts, training videos, live cold call recordings, dialing SOP, team meeting schedules, all of that. I literally built that out in like a day. I didn't sleep. I believe I stayed up at like 7 a.m. literally just to get that built out. But that's pretty much the progress of this week. But next week it's going to get a lot better. I'm going to be able to do a lot more work because I've been able to allocate. I've been able to figure out how I'm going to allocate time, while still having calls and being able to do what I need to do. As mentioned, I'm not perfect at this. Whatever I'm teaching you guys, I'm not perfect at it. That's not when you're going to teach. You're supposed to teach when you understand something and you're able to do that for a long period of time. I'm not initially perfect on it because then nobody would be able to teach anything. Everybody's that teaching something, they're not perfect at it. They're just very good at it to be able to teach it. So I'm very good at being consistent, but of course I got to get better, and that's what I'm initially looking to do. So next week I'm going to promise you guys it's going to be at least 20 appointments booked. That's all I'm saying. So we're racking up. We're going to get at least 85 this month. And then I'm also looking to obviously start hiring. I've posted a lot of hires on Facebook and on Upwork as well. So I'm looking to hire in. If you guys are watching this and you're willing to do some cold calling, you want to get into the space and you want to try this out and you initially want access to me and mentorship from me in some cases, in some way, feel free to let me know. Put it in the comments and I'll definitely shoot you a DM or a message with kind of how the process works. And I might be able to just hire you guys in and do some cold calls with me. But initially, that is kind of it for this week in this video. I'll go ahead and update you guys next week with kind of how that goes. As mentioned, at least 20. And then obviously all the other stuff that we want to talk about. But for today, that is all. I wish you guys a great week ahead and a lot of success. So yeah, we'll go ahead and talk next week. And yeah, all the best, guys. Bye bye.